A very good morning, children. Today I'm jumping a few lessons ahead and doing lesson 4.4 Ramanujan. This lesson is not there for your examination point of view, means it will not be there in your second term paper, but it is there for reading. So, what I'm doing is, since I have to teach you all this anyway, I'm going to give you all an open book test based on this lesson. So that's the reason I'm doing it first. I'm giving you all an open book test based on this lesson. I'll be giving you all just 6 questions on the passage that I give you all. And you all can write the answers and clip it along with your assignment that I have given you during the open day. You can submit it. Okay? Okay. Now, I'll read it a little fast because you don't have to know it. I mean, of course I will teach you in detail, but I will be reading it a little fast. Okay, so keep your pencils ready because then I may even ask you the meanings of the words. Okay, so let's start. It is on page 92. Now, if you know, this lesson Ramanujan is about a great Indian mathematician. Yes, his name was Ramanujan, and this is basically how he learned maths by himself without having much of any formal education at all. Formal education means going to school. So whatever maths he knew or he learned was his own finding, his own intelligence, his own genius. Clear? And then how he was appreciated by the Britishers, and he but how, and his life, how he fell sick and how he died. Okay, so let's start. One morning, early in 1913, Hardy found among the letters in his breakfast table a large, untidy envelope decorated with Indian stamps. Now, is another mathematician, okay, and he was one of the important mathematicians. When he opened it, he found sheets of paper by no means clean, on which, in a non English script, were line after line of symbols. Hardy glanced at them without enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means no interest. So, because for him it was like something he didn't understand, he just understood just the symbols, but he couldn't understand anything else because it didn't make much sense to him when he just had a glance at it. That's just a brief look. Okay, glance means a brief look, not look for a very long time. He felt more than anything bored. He glanced at the letter written in halting English. Halting means not proper English. Yes, you can say broken English, improper English. Signed by an unknown Indian asking him to give an opinion of these mathematical discoveries. So, this Indian who had written to Hardy had made some discoveries in maths, maybe a new formula, maybe a new equation, or whatever, a new theory, and had sent it to Hardy to evaluate it, to see what he thought about what he had discovered. The script appeared to consist of theorems, most of them wild or fantastic looking, one or two already well known, laid out as though they were original. There were there were no proofs of any kind. Hardy was not only bored but also irritated. It seemed like a curious kind of fraud. So, why did he feel that it was a fraud? Because when you are proposing a new theory, a new theorem, or a new formula, or any equation, anything, you have to have proof along with it. That this is why. Now, you know when you study maths, if you say this is equal to this, you have to prove that it is true what you have said. You just can't say anything when you're talking about maths and science. Clear? So this person who had sent it had not sent any proof. He had just sent some formulas and some writings and some symbols on some sheets of paper which were not even written neatly. They were written also very roughly. So that's why he thought it was a fraud, means a cheating. Yes, someone who's cheating. He put the manuscript aside and went on with his day's routine. Manuscript is some paper that is handwritten. Yes, any document that is handwritten is called a manuscript. Routine means something that you do every day, like you get up in the morning every day, you get up, you brush your teeth, you go for a bath, you have your breakfast. You do this every day. That is called your daily routine. Okay. So he went about doing his everyday's work. He did not stop to uh, think about it any further. After lunch, he looked off for a game of real tennis in the university court. Looked off means made movement in easy steps, like walked in a casual manner. If it had been summer, he would have walked down to Fenners to watch cricket. So he would have gone to a place where he would have watched cricket if it was summer. In the late afternoon, he strolled back to his room. Stroll means walked in a very easy manner. That particular day, though, while the timetable wasn't altered, altered means changed. So he was teaching, so he had a timetable to follow. Like as I have English in this period, or Marathi, Marathi teacher has in this period. So that timetable wasn't changed on that day. Yes, internal things were not going according to plan. At the back of his mind, getting in the way of his complete pleasure in this game, the Indian manuscript nagged away. Nagged away means went on, you can say, eating his head, bolte na sir khana. Okay, so it was like going on annoying him, irritating him. Wild theorems such as he had never seen before nor imagined, a fraud or of genius. A question was forming itself with epigrammatic clarity. So he was wondering, was he really a fraud or was he a genius? So epigrammatic, now clarity means to be very, very clear. Epigrammatic means short and witty, means he was getting all sorts of ideas like what do I do? I've never seen this such formulas or such theorems. Should I think about it? Should Is it a fraud? Or is he a genius that even I can't understand what he's writing? Okay. So epigrammatic means short and witty, funny. Where were we? Is it a fraud of genius more probable than an unknown mathematician of genius? Clearly, the answer was no. Back in his room in Trinity, he had another look at the script. He sent word to Littlewood, probably by messenger, certainly not by telephone, for which little or like all mechanical contrivances, including fountain pens, he had a deep distrust. So he was contrivances means appliances. So he did not like any mechanical instruments. Yes, so he even though there was a phone, but he did not use the phone. He sent a messenger. He means he sent a message through a person. To whom? To Littlewood. Now, who is Littlewood? Littlewood was another English mathematician. So he thought that I will discuss it with him. Maybe instead of thinking about this all alone, I will discuss this a letter that has come with him. Yes, so he did not like any. Now I can ask you which line tells you that he did not like the mechanical contrivances, so that you can say this. He sent a messenger and did not use a phone in spite of having it. Okay, what are the contrivances he did not like? He did not even like fountain pens. Okay, why he did not like? Because he did not trust them. See, he had a deep distrust that they must have a discussion after hall. Okay, so what he thought, he and Littlewood would have a discussion after hall means during the dining, in the dining hall during dinner time or lunch time, or what time was it, in the afternoon? Yes, so in the afternoon, yes, so that he would have a during the dinner. So it's in he was in the afternoon, so of course after this he would have his dinner. Before midnight, they knew for certain the writer of these manuscripts was a man of genius. That was as much as they could judge that night. So after the dinner, after discussing and having a look at the papers, that much they could understand was surely this man was a genius. But they couldn't tell anything further. What were the formulas about, or how did he come to the conclusion that these are the answers? Because there was no proof. Okay. It was only later that Hardy decided that Ramanujan was, in terms of natural mathematical genius, in the class of Gauss and Euler. Now, Gauss and Euler are also world very famous mathematicians. They are world famous mathematicians. Gauss was a German mathematician, and Euler was a Swiss mathematician. Yes, so he was the person who sent this was so good in whatever he did that he could even come in the category of these two, that is Gauss and Euler, who were already established and well-known mathematicians, but that he could not expect because of the defects of his education and because he had come on the scene too late in the line of mathematical history to make contributions on the same scale. So what he's saying, he could have been as famous as these two, but now it was not possible, not expected, because he was born very late, because these two were born very early, so they had a lot of time, so they had already made uh, all their establishments, whether it be the formulas, the uh, uh, theorems or whatever. And plus the second thing was, did not have education. Yes, he he did not have education. Okay. The following day, means the next day, Hardy went into action. Means he started doing something. Ramanujan must be brought to England. Hardy decided. Money was not a major problem. The Trinity had usually been good at supporting unorthodox talents. The college had been the same for Kapitsa a few years later. So Kapitsa was a Soviet physicist. Okay, so what he's saying, Trinity is the name of the college, a very famous college who even sponsor people like Ramanujan, and here how they had sponsored this Soviet physicist later on. Okay, unorthodox means not the regular ones. Now this is something very irregular because he had no education at all, but he was a genius. So they were ready to help him with money or the education, whatever was needed for him to go ahead. Once Hardy was determined, no human agency could have stopped Ramanujan, but they needed certain amounts of help from a superhuman one. So what he said, superhuman means you're talking of God. So they said only by providing him money and opportunity, it was not possible for Ramanujan to come. Now why? This is there in the next para. Ramanujan turned out to be a poor clerk in Madras, that is Chennai, living with his wife on 20 pounds a year. See, so this is written by a foreigner, so a Britisher, so he's talking in terms of their money. He was usually strict about his religious observances, means customs, with a mother who was even stricter. It seemed impossible that he could break the ban and cross the water. So what he's saying, um, he was so strict about his religious observances. Like supposing he was a pure veg, okay, and when you go to England, you have people eating all all sorts of foods, non-veg, everything. So if you're a pure veg, how are you going to adjust when you're going to live in a country where only non-veg is served, or most of the people have only non-veg? Okay, so here, how was he going to break this custom of his? So it seemed impossible that he could break the ban. Break the ban means all the restrictions that were there and cross the water. You cross the water to go to England, you have to cross the sea. Yes, so cross the waters means cross the sea. It seemed Fortunately, his mother had the highest respect for the goddess of Namakkal. One morning, Ramanujan's mother made a startling announcement. Startling means shocking. So you see, even if he wanted to go, even if his mother wanted to send him, maybe the villagers would say, "Oh, ye Firangi ho gaya, he's going," and because this is in olden days time, so that time they wouldn't be thinking of someone going abroad, and that poor fellow like Ramanujan, very shocking. It was like a big scandal. She had a dream that previous night in which she saw her son seated in a big hall among a group of Europeans, and the goddess of Namakal had commanded her not to stand in the way of her son fulfilling his life's purpose. This way, Ramanujan's Indian biographers was a very agreeable surprise to all concerned. This means that, what did she say? Suddenly she said, that goddess has told that Ramanujan is going to reach great heights and he is going to be with the Europeans, and no one should stop him. Come in the way means not to stand in the way, means no one should stop him or be a hindrance to him. Yes, make any problems for him. Yes, so this, says Ramanujan in the Indian biographies, means the people who wrote about the life of Ramanujan, okay, was a very agreeable surprise to all. So they were very, very surprised. And agreeable means, there is a little bit of doubt whether Ramanujan's mother really had this dream or revelation by the goddess, or she had just made it up just so that her son would progress and go ahead in his life. Okay. In 1914, Ramanujan arrived in England. So far as Hardy could detect means find out, though in this respect I should not trust his insight for far. Ramanujan, despite the difficulties of breaking the caste laws, did not believe much in theological doctrine, except for a vague pantheistic benevolence any more than Hardy did himself. Now, there's such a big line with so many new words, even I couldn't pronounce it properly. So far as Hardy could detect, though in this respect I should not trust his insight here, means his deep thinking, his thoughts. Yes, Ramanujan, despite the difficulties of breaking the caste laws, so he was able to break the caste laws when he was in India. You have castes over here, and one caste doesn't mix with the other caste. Yes, so for them, the English people are people with no caste at all, so they are almost like totally outsiders. So he was able to break this. In spite of this, he did not believe much in theological doctrine. Now, theological doctrine means you can say beliefs or teachings of the gods and religion. He did not believe them so much. He was not like very strict about it, except for a vague pantheistic benevolence. Pantheistic benevolence means when you're talking of believing in more than one god, a number of gods. So as you know, he Ramanujan belonged to the Hindu religion, where you have a lot or a number of different gods. Yes, where any more than Hardy did himself. So even Hardy did not believe in all this. Only thing is, he did believe Ramanujan was coming from this background, whereas Hardy did not come from this background. But he did certainly believe in ritual. Now, what is ritual? Is the religious ceremonies. Yes, like you're supposed to do your puja, you're supposed to fast on this day or that or day or whatever it is. Okay, those are the customs or the rituals. When Trinity put him up in college within 4 years, he became a fellow. Fellow is a position that you attain, like you become a master, you become, okay. So there was no Alan Saint Aubin self-indulgence. Alan Saint Aubin is another fellow from Trinity who was supposed to be um, very good. Yes, self-indulgence means doing things for your own pleasure. Yes, for the sake of getting pleasure for him at all. So Hardy used to find him ritually changed into his pajamas, cooking vegetables rather miserably in a frying pan in his own room. So, why is he talking about self indulgence here? He did not enjoy himself, like getting ready made food or getting people to help him or to wash his clothes or do his work for him. Even do he used to do his work by himself and even cook his, since he was a vegetarian, even cook his own food in the frying pan. Their association was strangely okay. That their association should be here, was a strangely touching one. Not forget that he was in the presence of a genius, but genius that was, even in mathematics, almost untrained. So, even though he was a genius, he was an untrained genius. Ramanujan had not been able to enter Madras Chennai University because he could not matriculate. Matriculate means pass his graduation in English. So, what was his difficulty? He had a great difficulty in speaking, understanding, and writing English. According to Hardy's report, he was always amiable and good natured, but no doubt he sometimes found Hardy's conversation outside mathematics more than a little baffling. Amiable means lovable, loving, kind. Baffling means very confusing, too difficult to understand. Yes. So He could not understand when Hardy spoke to him about maths. He was very, very interested because they mostly maths is of formulas, theories, theorems. Whereas when he spoke to him about anything else, he couldn't understand half of it, and so he was totally confused. Yes, baffling means confused. He seems to have listened with a patient smile on his good, friendly, homely face. Even inside mathematics, he had to come to terms with the differences in their education. Come to terms means had to understand, had to accept. Yes, that now if you see Hardy must be speaking about things that even Ramanujan doesn't know because he has never gone to school or to college. Yes, so he did not understand many of the things even when he was talking about mathematics because of the difference in their education. Ramanujan was self taught. He knew nothing of the modern rigor. In a sense, he didn't know what was a proof. So he did not know anything about what was required now, presently. Rigor means the harsh reality. Yes, he did not even know that when you're making a formula or whatever theory, you have to give a proof. In an uncharacteristically sentimental moment, means not in his character, sentimental means very emotional moment. Hardy once wrote that if he had been better educated, he would have been less Ramanujan. So, what Hardy said was Ramanujan, you feel like an uneducated genius. Yes, he wouldn't have been an uneducated genius, he would have been a genius of the topmost level. Coming back to his ironic senses, Hardy later corrected himself and said that the statement was nonsense. So, ironic means opposite of what is expected, opposite of what is here, it is opposite of what he spoke. So, on top, he said he would have been a genius, he just corrected himself and said it was a nonsense. If Ramanujan had been better educated, he would have been even more wonderful than he was. In fact, Hardy was obliged to teach him some formal mathematics as though Ramanujan had been a scholarship candidate at Winchester. So when you have a student who is on scholarship, scholarship means you get a free ship for your fees or a concession for your fees. These students are taught from the beginning, taught by the teachers almost like one-to-one teaching. Yes, because generally scholarship is given to students who are from the poor background because so that they're given a chance to get education and come up in life. Hardy said that this was the most singular experience of his life. Singular means totally different, nothing like he had experienced before. What did modern mathematics look like to someone who had the deepest insight but who had literally never heard of most of it? So he was wondering what did mathematics look like to someone like a genius but who had even didn't know most of the things that he was talking about, even though he was a genius.